Trains at Yankeedabbler.com, where every day is a train show. Hello everyone, today we're going to be looking at the Digitrax Evolution Express, or the EVOX, and the Digitrax Evolution Express Duplex, which is the EVOXD, and discussing the differences between the two. On the top is the EVOX. This is tethered, which means that the throttle has to be plugged into either the command station or to one of the ports around the layout in order to change the speed, direction, or sounds coming from the locomotive. On the bottom is the EVOXD, which is the duplex equipped, which is Digitrax's wireless system or radio system. The EVOXD, which is the duplex equipped version, will allow you to acquire or dispatch locomotives on the fly without having to plug into the layout. On the top, the EVOX comes with a DCS 210 Plus, a 5 amp power supply, a UP7, and a DT602. On the bottom, the EVOXD is very similar. It also comes with a DCS 210 Plus, a 5 amp power supply, but it changes out the UP7 for a UR93, which is the digital receiver for the wireless system, and exchanges the DT602 for a DT602D throttle. This allows the system to run wirelessly. When you start the system up, you only have to plug the throttle in one time so the system knows it's there, and until the batteries run out, you do not need to plug it in again to do anything with your trains. You can, like I said, you can acquire, dispatch, and change the sounds without ever plugging in. Now, the difference in the two systems is somewhere between $140 and $150. Obviously the wireless one being more expensive. However, if you want to add wireless later to any other system, the UR93 and the 602D throttle are a little over $300. So if you're thinking of going wireless, it's better spending the money up front as opposed to adding it later, which will be much more expensive. Let's take a look at the EVOX first and see what's inside. Okay, we've opened up the EVOX, which is the tethered system. And as stated, it gives you the DCS 210 Plus, which is the brain of the DCC system and will run your layout. On the front, you have a USB port, which allows you to connect into your computer and run JMRI. On the back side, you have the 5 amp power supply. You have a lanyard for your throttle. You have a LocoNet cable for the UP7, which is where you plug in around the layout. You can make multiple connections around the layout with UP7s. Now again, the EVOX is about $140 to $150 cheaper than the EVOXD, but if you're going to put a lot of the UP7s around your layout, the UP7s are around $15. As you add up the cost of the UP7s and the cables to connect them to the LocoNet, it may be more cost effective to start with wireless from the beginning. As noted, you have a DT602 throttle, which you can see the plate in between the two knobs shows that it's a DT602. This means it's tethered and has to be connected to either the UP7 or into one of the LocoNet ports. One of the nice things that Digitrax has done is sometimes the connections will break. Now the cable is able to be disconnected from the throttle and replaced very easily, or you can have the ends replaced with a crimping tool if you have one. Now let's compare this to the EVOXD, which will be the wireless. I'll change out the components and show you the differences. Okay, these are the components that you get with the EVOXD. As noted, the DCS 210 Plus is exactly the same, as well as the power supply and the USB and the manual. The lanyard and the one LocoNet cable are the same. You get a second cable to plug in the throttle at initial startup. As you'll see, this throttle in between the two knobs is a DT602D. This is Digitrax's wireless system or radio, and allows you to run the trains without connecting to the DCS210 or any other plug-in around the layout. You can run your trains wirelessly as long as the batteries in the DT602D last. As noted, you also change out the UP7 and get a UR93. The UR93 is the radio receiver to accept the signals from the wireless throttle and transmit it to your DCS210. The PS14 is the power supply to run the UR93. Now, also with any Digitrax system, you can run a mix of tethered or wireless throttles. You can plug in other throttles in the front of the DCS210, or on a larger layout, you can still put UP7s around the layout to have plugins for people that do not have a wireless throttle, such as in a club setting or a larger home layout. Based upon the two systems, you can't go wrong either way. However, if you do want wireless and it's a thought you're going to have in the future, it is well worth to spend the initial $140 or $150 difference between the two systems to buy the wireless initially and be happy with your purchase and be running wireless much quicker. Like I said, if you're going to add the UR93 and the DT602D later, you're going to spend over $300 on those two pieces alone. I hope this has been informative, and thank you for watching.